steam still rose, though you were gone. Your seat was pulled, but the lights stayed on. No words were left, just morning air and coffee cooling by your chair. I didn't sip, I couldn't move. The quiet filled the room like proof. You left too soft, you left too slow, like something warm that didn't show. But the coffee's still warm and so is your name, held in the rim like a whisper I can't frame. It lingers like breath in the steam that won't fade. You didn't say goodbye, but you almost stayed. Windows closed, the light turns pale, but I still feel your silent trail. One spoon untouched still leans inside, like how I leaned on you in time. Yes, the coffee's still warm and so is your name, held in the rim like a whisper I can't frame. It lingers like breath in the steam that won't fade. You didn't say goodbye, but you almost stayed. Maybe warmth was all you left, and silence was your sweetest theft. But even now, in quiet form, the coffee's still warm. You stirred your cup but didn't drink. Your thoughts were somewhere I couldn't think. The steam curled up then slipped away, like all the words you didn't say. I watched the window catch your face, half in shadow, half in grace. Your fingers tapped a quiet beat before the coffee lost its heat. Before the coffee lost its heat, you almost turned to speak. Your lips held back the ache, your hands began to shake, but nothing left your seat. Before the coffee lost its heat, chair still rocked from where you rose, the scent of you still on your clothes. The table kept our small routine, now empty like a pause machine. I reached across but touched the air, your absence settled everywhere. The cup still full, the sip not sweet, before the coffee lost its heat. Before the coffee lost its heat, you stood but not complete. No message in your eyes, just mornings turned to lies. No time, no full retreat. Before the coffee lost its heat. Seconds hadn't fled, if warmth could freeze just long enough to turn the side coffee lost its heat. You vanished from your seat. No slam, no sharp goodbye, just breath that passed me by. And I still feel you in the steam, where nothing touched the dream. And now I sit and always wait for coffee that won't hold your weight. You close the door, but not the day. The shadows chose to stay. Your coffee cool beside your chair, but something still hung in the air. The light stayed after you, like it didn't know what to do. Your warmth had left, your steps were gone, but morning kept holding on. The echo faded down the hall, but silence filled it all. Your name was written in the steam and vanished like a dream. The light stayed after you, soft and barely moving through. No goodbye, no spoken line, just your absence next to mine. And even now, as daylight turns, the light still waits and never learns. You sat so still, like time stood by. The steam rose soft, then said goodbye. Two hands around a cup of green, but yours stayed quiet, untouched, unseen. The table held what we didn't speak. Your eyes were full, but your lips stayed weak. A spoon untouched, a napkin folded, like all the things we never told it. You didn't touch your tea, but I watched it cool with me. Every second said much more than your silence at the door. The warmth you left behind was never meant to stay. You didn't touch your tea, but you gave yourself away. The chair's still there, the light still bends, where moments start and almost end. I clean the cup, but not the thought of all the things your stillness brought. You didn't touch your teeth, but I remember how it steamed, like a breath you didn't take, or a truth you wouldn't break. The taste you never tried still lingers here with me. You didn't say goodbye, but you didn't touch your teeth. Spoke like we still meant to try, but every truth came out half dry. The table caught our careful tones, while silence filled the undertones. Your hands were near but out of reach, like pages torn from every speech. We smiled through pauses too rehearsed, but in between I felt it first. There's dust beneath the words, all the weight we never heard. They settle quiet on the floor, like meaning we don't seek anymore. Each sentence cracked and thin, too fragile to begin. The letters bent where we once wrote, but time erased what couldn't float. We passed the sugar, poured the tea, and left the rest to memory. There's dust beneath the words, like longing trapped in nerves. We speak but not to mend, just circle in the end. The things we didn't say, still waiting in the grave. Now pages fade to gray and cream, and I still speak you in a dream. But all that's left to serve is dust beneath the words. You left your scarf on the chair, still folded like you'd return. Steam rose in silence between us, a warmth too tender to burn. I watched the light bend on the floor, where your footsteps used to fall. The window held your shadow close, but you never turned at all. When the cup was still warm, I whispered things I never said. The air remembered your name, but the moment quietly fled. No storm, no sound, just the form of love that almost stayed. Refused to chime that hour, like time paused for your sake. But even silence finds its end, and warmth begins to break. When the cup was still warm, I lived a life inside a stare. Your breath was gone from the room, but something lingered there. No storm, no sound, just the form of love that never dared. I drink slow now, just to pretend that you might walk in again. Soft as morning's quiet sigh, petals open to the sky. Barefoot thoughts adrift in time. In this garden, hearts unwind. Every leaf tells me a story, bathed in golden blooming glory. Strolling through the slow and free, whispers of the wind are guiding me. Enjoying me's grace, I find my place. A world of peace and gentle space. Hold this day, don't let it fly. I'm walking with the sky. Shadows stretch in honeyed hues, clouds like ships in skies of blue. Every sigh the garden hears melts away my hidden fears. In the silence, nature sings of love beneath her tender wings. Strolling through the Maylight, soft and true, wearing sun and scent like morning dew. Enjoying me's calm, I lay my soul, letting gentle hours roll. This is where the quiet starts, among the blooming hearts. Time forgets to move too fast when beauty's meant to last, and I am just a wandering soul where everything feels like I belong. Strolling through the Maylight, sweet and slow. No to go. The roses know, the breezes play. This is love in soft array. Jongmi holds me in her gaze, a dream that walks through days. Didn't cry, she didn't sigh, just stood and watched the morning die. No keys, no steps, no closing phrase, just stillness drifting through the haze. The door stayed open just a bit, as if her echo feared to quit. But even silence turned around. Her absence was the last sound. Her absence was the last sound. No breath, no voice around. The chair creaked once, then held its place. Her shape still folded into space. No whisper rose, no curtain swayed, just what she didn't say. Coffee cool beside the glass, unfinished like the things that pass. The clock forgot its second hand, the light too tired to understand. I waited for a word to fall, but nothing answered in the hall. The room grew full without a sound. Her absence was the last sound. Her absence was the last sound. It rang without a round. No wind, no hum, no distant call, just quiet pressed against the wall. She didn't shout, she didn't fade, she simply slipped away. Thought a tear might break the air, but even grief was unaware. And when I reached to hold her name, the air just stayed the same. Her absence was the last sound, the kind that won't rebound. A silence carved so deep, so wide, it echoes more than if she'd cried. No answer ever will be found. Her absence was the last sound. And I live where echoes never start, just silence tucked beneath my heart. I found the box beneath the bed. Your face was soft and faded red. No name, just time that passed. A smile too quiet, a love too fast. The corners bent, the ink had bled, but something real was left unsaid. A photo held what we let go, a light that only memories know. These lost photographs did you forget or just let fade? Were we too soft to ever stay? Now every picture holds your breath, a still life, love, outliving death. These lost photographs still call me back to moments blurred and colors cracked. I close my eyes, but I still see the way you looked before you left me. Didn't speak when you stood, just nodded once like silence would. The steam rose slow from your untouched tea, and time just sat there quietly. The light stayed after you had gone, spilled across where you leaned on. No goodbye, no final sound, just the hush that hung around. The chair kept warm, the cup half full, your presence soft and visible. I breathed you in like fading air, still waiting in your empty chair. The light stayed after you had gone, like you forgot, but not for long. Every shadow knew your name, but nothing here felt quite the same. And though you're nowhere in this room, the light refused to leave too soon. Soft light peeking through the trees, cool wind dancing on my cheeks. The world is quiet, slow and kind. I leave the noisy thoughts behind. No sound but my heart beating slow. This is the peace I've come to know. Breathe in the morning, let it stay. Carry me gently through the day. Every step is soft to tune. Underneath the silver moon, time stands still and I feel free. The morning's where I'm meant to be. A sparrow sings a gentle song. I hum the melody along. grass is wet beneath my shoes, but I don't mind a bit of dew. Oh, the air is clear, the sky is white. I feel the sun begin to rise. Breathe in the morning, let it stay. Carry me gently through the day. Every step a softer tune. Underneath the silver moon, time stands still and I feel free. The morning's where I'm meant to be. Before the world begins to race, I find my quiet hiding place. A moment just for me and time, where everything feels real. Breathe in the morning, let it stay. Carry me gently through the day. Every step a softer tune. Underneath the silver moon, time stands still and I feel free. The morning's where I'm meant to be. Yes, the morning's where I'm meant to be. You didn't speak when you stood to leave. The morning light clung to your sleeve. You turned the handle soft, not slow, like you had someplace else to go. The steam still danced above your tea, but your eyes weren't watching me. You left the sugar in its jar, and silence followed you that far. When the cup was still warm and the chair held your shape, I reached for the storm, but it had no escape. No sound, no sigh, just a room for getting form. When the cup was still warm, you always left the window cracked, said air should flow, not hold us back. Now it whistles low and wide, carrying things I never tried. The book you read lies open still, page bent where time stood still. I sit where your scent still clings, unraveling ordinary things. When the cup was still warm and the light leaned like your head, I whispered to the calm, but the quiet grew instead. No tears, no fight, just a ghost of your norm. When the cup was still warm, it wasn't loud, it wasn't final. No door slammed shut, no rush denial, but every inch of breath you took still lingers here in every look. When the cup was still warm and your name stayed in the air, the day refused to form without you sitting there. No clock, no time, just memory taking form. When the cup was still warm, now the cup is cold and clean, but I still sip what might have been. You held the cup but didn't sip. Thought paused on your lower lip. The air was warm, the words were not. You left before the tea grew hot. You traced the glass but not the truth. The window held a fading youth, and in the fog between the light, your name began to write. Your name in the steam appeared, then disappeared, soft as a dream. Too close, then too unclear. I watched it rise and break apart, still burning in my heart. Your name in the steam, too warm to last, too cold to dream. The table knew what we forgot, the time we took, the time we lost. Your hand let go, but not the room. It echoed like a quiet bloom. I didn't speak, I let it be, a wordless kind of elegy. But in the breath between the heat, your name refused defeat. Your name in the steam, a sigh I couldn't chase, like something in between, a memory and a trace. I watched it form, then float away, but it never left that day. And now I sit with empty hands, still drawing hearts in cooling strands. I try to breathe without your sound, but silence hangs around. Your name in the steam returns when I exhale. It flickers like a dream, too soft to write or mail. It fades but never truly goes, like heat the body knows. Your name in the steam, still here but never seen. And every morning just the same, the cup remembers all your name. The door was open, but you were gone. The light kept falling like nothing's wrong. Chair still faced where we last sat, your coat untouched, your silence flat. The window breathed a softer hue, but none of it could carry you. Your shadow brushed the wooden floor, then faded past the closing door. There were no words left in the room, just the hush of afternoon. Your name was in the air, but you were never there. No echo tried to bloom, no words left in the room. Your coffee cooled with quiet grace, still warm enough to leave a trace. I thought you'd say just one more thing, but silence wore your wedding ring. The clock forgot to count the beat, time folded underneath my feet. The pen uncapped, the paper white, but nothing wrote you back that night. There were no words left in the room, just the shape of your perfume. The air refused to close, still open like a rose. A scent, a space, a gloom, no words left in the room. didn't cry, I didn't call, but something leaned against the wall. A memory with lips sealed tight, too soft to stay, too slow to fight. There were no words left in the room, only silence in full bloom. And though I stayed for one more sound, the quiet pressed me down. No sentence, no costume, no words left in the room. And still I wait for something true, but the room forgot me too. The spoon sat quiet in your cup, no circles drawn, no lifting up. You held the warmth but not the taste, like something sweet you left in haste. You used to stir without a thought, two gentle turns the calm it brought. But that small grace was gone today, and all your sweetness slipped away. You never stirred the sugar, and I felt the silence bite. No laughter in your morning, no softness in the light. You didn't need to speak it, your coffee said enough. Some endings don't get louder, they just forget to love. Your fingers lingered near the rim, but left the surface still and dim. I reached to say, are you okay? But held the question back that day. You never stirred the sugar, and the meaning filled the air, like a letter left unopened, still folded in despair. No storm, no final plea, just quiet slipping free. Now every morning tastes the same, though I still stir your name. You never stirred the sugar, and you never came again. You stood so still near the morning light. The cup between us held what we might. You didn't speak, and I held my breath, afraid to ask what silence meant. The steam still rose, but time moved fast. I knew this moment couldn't last. Your fingers brushed the porcelain side, like saying something you'd rather hide. Before the coffee lost its heat, before friends forgot to meet. You almost stayed, you almost spoke, but all we shared was fragile smoke, a warmth that lingered soft and sweet. Before the coffee lost its heat, I watched the window catch your shape, as if the light would make you wait. But doors don't hold what hearts release, and quiet love slips out in peace. Before the coffee lost its heat, before the chair became empty, you left your scent, your unfinished lines, still floating there with taste and time. Some endings feel so incomplete. Before the coffee lost its heat. Clock moved slow, but she moved faster. Left her coat in morning laughter. Steam still rising from the cup, but the chair was giving up. She didn't wait for the last light, didn't look back through the quiet night. Her name stayed warm on porcelain lip, but the silence finished what she skipped. Whispered words the walls had heard, folded moments into blurred photographs and unsaid things. Now only shadows softly sing. She didn't wait for the last light, didn't close the door just right. Her scent still dancing in the air, but her voice was never there. And I drink slow, and I breathe thin, waiting where the light had been. Chairs were set, the lights were low. Steam had nowhere left to go. You see, it was warm, now it's just air. A space that says you're not still there. The spoon was resting by the cup. You never stirred, just gave it up. No final word, no glance to stay. Just echoes where you slipped away. Echoes in a cold cafe, where morning used to find its way. Your voice still hums beneath the light, but disappears before the night. No one sees, no one will say. Just echoes in a cold cafe. The walls remember how you'd lean. Your laugh still lives in between. But now the windows breathe in gray, and nothing warm has tried to stay. Echoes in a cold cafe of everything we meant to say. I drink alone but not quite free. You're somewhere in the quiet steam. No goodbye, no clear delay. Just echoes in a cold cafe. And even when I turn to go, the tiles still whisper soft and low. Your presence never went away. It lingers in this cold cafe.
Clock moved slow, but we stayed still. Two chairs, one light, one windowsill. You held your mug like holding time, but never spoke, and neither did I. The warmth was shared in little ways. A breath, a glance, a pause that stays. We didn't need to fill the space. The silence felt like soft embrace, and the cup beside silence told me enough. You were there, not in words, but in something like love. No voices passed, but the stillness was true. The cup beside silence was full of you. Sometimes the quiet is louder than sound. I heard you in stillness without any vow.
You held the cup but didn't sip. A thought paused on your lower lip. The air was warm, the words were not. You left before the tea grew hot. You traced the glass but not the truth. The window held a fading youth, and in the fog between the light, your name began to write. Your name in the steam appeared then disappeared, soft as a dream, too close then too unclear. I watched it rise then break apart, still burning in my heart. Your name in the steam, too warm to last, too cold to dream. The table knew what we forgot, the time we took, the time we lost. Your hand let go but not the room. It echoed like a quiet bloom. I didn't speak, I let it be, a wordless kind of elegy. But in the breath between the heat, your name refused to feed. Your name in the steam, a sigh I couldn't chase, like something in between a memory and a trace. I watched it form then float away, but it never left that day. And now I sit with empty hands, still drawing hearts in cooling strands. I try to breathe without your sound, but silence hangs around. Your name in the steam returns when I exhale. It flickers like a dream, too soft to write or mail. It fades but never truly goes, like heat the body knows. Your name in the steam, still here but never seen. And every morning just the same, the cup remembers all your name. You left your scarf on the chair, still folded like you'd return. Steam rose in silence between us, a warmth too tender to burn. I watched the light bend on the floor, where your footsteps used to fall. The window held your shadow close, but you never turned at all. When the cup was still warm, I whispered things I never said. The air remembered your name, but the moment quietly fled. No storm, no sound, just the form of love that almost stayed. The clock refused to chime that hour, like time paused for your sake. But even silence finds its end, and warmth begins to break. When the cup was still warm, I lived a life inside a stare. Your breath was gone from the room, but something lingered there. No storm, no sound, just the form of love that never dared. I drink slow now just to pretend